All right, guys, welcome in. Today we'll be looking at some Week 9 college football playoff projections. Had a pretty crazy Week 8. Quite a few top teams went down. So this is how I see the bracket shaping up right now if I had to predict it. We'll start off here with number 1. We got Ohio State. As of now, I would still take them to honestly finish 12-0 and head to the Big Ten championship game. And probably I would definitely take them as the Big Ten champion. At the 2, we got Alabama. Right now, I would probably pick Alabama to be the SEC champion. I think Ty Simpson's playing just about as good as anybody, and the defense isn't quite old school Bama where they're just shutting everybody down, but at the same time, they've been just good enough, and they've kind of been through that rough stretch of their schedule. They got through it. It's crazier and crazier every week that they lost to Florida State. But we got at South Carolina, LSU, Oklahoma, and at Auburn. So definitely some losable games, but I would take them still to be in Atlanta, end up winning the SEC. And the 3 spot, I got Indiana, so they would be my Big Ten runner-up right now. I think they'll get there as well. There's also a pretty good chance that you could see 12-0 Ohio State versus 12-0 Indiana in that Big Ten championship game. Indiana does have UCLA this week, who's rattled off a few victories in a row, but I would still take them to win there. And then after UCLA, they got Maryland, Penn State, who's losing to everybody now, Wisconsin, and Purdue. So pretty good shot you get 12-0 versus 12-0 there in the Big Ten championship. At 4, I went with Miami. I know they obviously lost this past week. I still think they'll end up winning the ACC. Now, obviously, even the 4, this is assuming that they'll actually run the table. If they're 10-2 ACC champ, they'll definitely be ranked lower. But right now, I guess I'll still take Miami to win the ACC. It was kind of between the ACC champ, if it's Miami, they'd be 12-1 versus the SEC runner-up. I went ahead and put A&M at 5. I would take them right now to get to Atlanta. They got a few a lot of road games coming up. They're at LSU this week. They're at Missouri after a bye, and then they are at Texas, and South Carolina's wedged in between there. To finish the year, I think if A&M would get to Atlanta at 12-0 and lose, they would definitely be the 4. I think at worst case, they could even be the 3, but I don't. Right now, I'd probably still see A&M dropping at least one of those games before getting to Atlanta. So I'll take them as the SEC runner-up, and then them getting the 5 seed. We'll flip to the other side of the bracket at 6. I'll have Georgia. Georgia's got the 1 loss. What's left on their schedule? They have Florida, Mississippi State versus Texas, and then Georgia Tech. So a lot of winnable games there. They could drop one, but still, even at 10-2, they'll definitely be squarely in the playoff. At 7, I went with Oregon. I do think Oregon's got 1 loss, and they have a little bit of a tricky schedule. I could see them dropping 1. They finished the year with USC and Washington, so both of those could be a game they could drop. But once same thing with them, and they have 1 loss. They can lose 1 more. They'll still be in the playoff at 10-2. Any SEC or Big Ten team will definitely be in. They'll probably still be hosting. And the 8, I went with Texas Tech. Once again, I know they lost as well this week to Arizona State, but I still feel like they'll end up winning the Big 12. I do think the Big 12 will be a 1-bid league again. I thought they might have had a chance at 2 bids if Texas Tech could have ran the table, got to the championship game at 12-0 and then lost. Then you could get the conference champ and Texas Tech in there. But I guess that's still possible with BYU being 7-0, but I do not see BYU running the table to get to the conference championship game. So I'll take the Big 12 champ, Texas Tech there, and they'll be hosting. They'll get the 9 seed. They'll get Ole Miss. Ole Miss is another SEC teams. They got 1 loss right now. So honestly, they can afford 1 more. Coming up for Ole Miss, they got the big one against Oklahoma this week. That's probably the toughest game left on their schedule. That'll be a big one there. And they go South Carolina, Florida, and Mississippi State. So after this Oklahoma week, and they should win the remaining of their games. So we'll see how they finish out the year. At 10, I got Notre Dame. I know a lot of people thought, they started 0-2, that even if they win out, they won't have enough quality wins to get in. But I just don't see that being the case. I think they're playing well. It's a big brand. They're already, maybe 12 or 14 this week in the AP. They're close to the top 12 already, and teams are going to continue to lose ahead of them. So this is assuming Notre Dame wins out, obviously. If Notre Dame wins out, I definitely believe they'll be in the playoff. They could even be higher than 10, honestly. Then at 11, I went ahead and put Georgia Tech. I know they're 7-0 now. They've got some narrow wins. They don't really have a signature win. This is assuming they get to the ACC championship game and then end up being the runner-up. I don't know if they're 11-1 going into the ACC championship, if they drop one and then lose the ACC championship as well. I think they would still be in, but they don't have a ton of impressive wins, so we'll have to see how the committee kind of handles that. And then for the G5 bid, I went ahead and put USF. I think they're still the favorite there to get that spot. A couple teams that I would be looking out for this week. Vanderbilt plays Missouri. Both of them one-loss teams. I think the winner of that game could be set up very well, especially Vanderbilt. After Missouri, they go Texas, who, I mean, it is at Texas, but they're struggling a lot on offense. Auburn, Kentucky, and then at Tennessee. So, I mean, Vanderbilt only has one loss. So if they can get past Missouri this week, even if they end up dropping one of those down the way. I mean, they're still a 10-2 SEC team. I think they'd be in. And then same thing for Missouri. They have a little bit tougher path. They have Vanderbilt this week. They got A&M coming up. They still got Oklahoma. They got at Arkansas to finish the year, who they can score a lot. So I think Missouri, I would take Vanderbilt, have a little bit better chance, but whoever wins that game this week would be in a pretty good position, I think. Another team, this sounds crazy, but Virginia is 6-1 here in the ACC, and I mean, if just looking at their schedule, at North Carolina, at Cal, Wake, Duke, and Virginia Tech. So I mean, just not a lot on that schedule. I don't know. Even if an 11-1 Virginia Tech would make it to the ACC title game, they might still have to win it just because there likely looks like they'll finish the year with 0 ranked wins. So might not be enough if they get all the way to the ACC championship and end up losing. And then a team that I feel like a lot of people have kind of written off after the Red River was Oklahoma. I know obviously they lost to Texas, but their schedule is really tough. But if there is a 9-3 team that's going to make the playoff as a at large bid, I definitely think Oklahoma will have the best shot at doing that just because the end of their schedule is ridiculous here. They got Ole Miss this week, then they go Tennessee, Alabama, Missouri, and LSU. So all 5 of those teams are currently ranked inside the top 20. So I think there's a shot that even if Oklahoma, I mean, they only have one loss now, but even if they finish 9-3, I still think there's a shot that they can end up um, squeezing into the playoff here. But looking at the bracket, I think you'd have some cool first round matchups. You'd have Georgia and Georgia Tech. That would actually be a rematch from the last week of the regular season. So that'd be cool to see. Oregon and Notre Dame would be big. Texas Tech versus Lane Kiffin. That would be fun to see. And then A&M would get the G5 bid there. I really actually like that draw a lot there for A&M going USF and then Miami. That would be fun to see. But we'll see. Week 9 coming up. I'm sure it'll be another crazy week. It's been a pretty unpredictable year. So looking forward to it. Appreciate y'all watching. It is a new channel. So if you would like to support, I would appreciate you subscribing. I'll try to do a video maybe once a week. I'm not really sure where I'll go yet with the direction. I am still a full-time student in anesthesia school right now, so my weeks kind of vary quite a bit. But I'll do my best to get some out there. And I appreciate y'all watching, and I'll see you on the next one.